So I've been trawling around on the Trading 212 app yet again, and I found another feature that I'm very excited to talk about and use in the near future. If you want to sign up to Trading 212 and receive a free share, use the link in the description down below. Alternatively, if you've signed up recently and haven't received a free share, use my promo code and you also will receive a free share. So what is this feature that I'm talking about? If you click the menu button right here, we can see that there are many more options here, and there is a new menu here called Portfolio Transfers. So what exactly does this menu entail? So here it says Portfolio Transfers. Transfer a portfolio from another broker to Trading 212. This is a new feature and they're gradually rolling out this feature, so maybe it will take time for it to actually come out on your app. If you've realized, Trading 212 has really upped their game this year. They're rolling out every feature under the sun, it seems like, and it's making my life difficult for having to make all these videos. Anyway, a quick glance over the features. It is automatic and paperless, so there's no forms that you have to fill out and send to any of your brokers. So all you have to do is follow the steps and order the transfer, and Trading 212 will handle the rest. The other thing is that it is free, so Trading 212 do not charge any fees in transferring your portfolio from someone else to Trading 212. However, brokers such as Freetrade might charge a US transfer out fee, for example, they do that, and so it won't be free in that case. So let's go through some of the frequently asked questions about this feature. So what exactly is a portfolio transfer? So portfolio transfer essentially allows you to move your shares that you might have in another platform such as Freetrade. I have loads of shares on Freetrade that unfortunately I had bought ages ago and didn't do so well, and since then the platform has degraded and Trading 212 is by far superior. So now I want to move my shares from my Freetrade portfolio, for example, straight to Trading 212. So this is a new feature allowing you to trade from broker to broker outside of an ISA. Although this is available for an ISA, this is part of the ISA transfer process, which is slightly different. But if you have two general investment accounts, for example, like I do, you can easily transfer some of the shares from the other broker to Trading 212. For example, this is my general investment account on my Freetrade account. As you can see, I have loads of holdings and they're all doing incredibly bad. Either way, I still have them and I might want to be transferring them over to my Trading 212 account so that everything is in one and I don't have to pay the stupid foreign exchange fees that you have to pay with Freetrade, which is frankly downright ridiculous. Trading 212 has a much lower foreign exchange fee. For example, it is only 0.15%. Furthermore, Trading 212 actually offers daily interest on uninvested cash. For example, I have a lot of cash here. I have £26,000 in cash. That is giving me an annual equivalent of 5.2%, which beats pretty much any instant access savings account. But also I'm receiving this daily, so I'm receiving around £3.64 every day. Of course, that increases with compound interest, and these payments are made like clockwork at around 10 p.m. every night. There are many benefits to this platform. That is why I talk about it a lot. Of course, if they started to kind of, reverse on some of these changes, I will be the first one to actually speak out about it, because of course I have never made a sponsored video ever about any investment platform, and I don't actually plan to do that in the future anyway. I've been offered thousands and thousands of pounds. That's a story for another day. So how can you transfer your portfolio to Trading 212? You just have to go into this menu and actually follow the step-by-step guide in the portfolio transfer section. You can also then monitor the status of your transfer through this app. I'm going to, if I get enough likes and comments, actually go through this whole entire process, record it, show it on camera, and show you a beginner's guide into how to transfer from an account such as Freetrade over to Trading 212. In terms of fees, Trading 212 doesn't actually charge any fees. However, other brokers such as Freetrade will charge a US exit fee per holding that you have, which is around $17 off the top of my head. So there is no way around that. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to pay that, although sometimes it could be worth it. So what type of transfers are supported? You can actually submit both incoming and outgoing share transfers, so you can actually move your shares away from Trading 212. Of course, I'm not one to tell you what broker to use. If you don't want to use Trading 212, you can always transfer out too. You can do this both on your Invest account and also your ISA account. Although with an ISA account, the transfers will be slightly different because the government is involved. If it's an ISA transfer from another broker, then you get to keep your allowance for the current year if it's an older year. And of course, that allowance gets transferred, not just the funds. So can I transfer part of my portfolio? So in your Invest account, you can actually do both partial and full transfers. So for example, from my Freetrade account, I might just want to transfer just the British stocks. For example, anything denoted in pounds, for example, Alba Mineral and Aston Martin. Not only are these British stocks, but these are also full shares. So fractional shares does have a stipulation towards them. So for now, I just want to transfer my Aston Martin and Alba Mineral shares onto Trading 212. I can just choose a partial transfer, and that should be fine by trading 2-on-2. If you want to transfer cash and shares, incoming transfers need to be in full. For your ISA account, if you want to transfer cash and shares, incoming transfers need to be for the full current tax year. If it's partial, it can be for the previous tax years, not your active tax year ISA, if that makes sense. Outgoing transfers from trading 2-on-2 to another broker must always be in full. For your ISA, if you want to transfer just cash, incoming and outgoing transfers need to be in full for the current tax year, but may be partial for any tax years that is not part of your active tax year. So the big question is, can you transfer fractional shares? For example, back to my free trade account, you can see a lot of these shares are fractional. For example, Beidou, Corsair, all of these ones are mostly fractional shares. You can see it's 6.6648 shares for Beidou. So of course, will I be able to transfer fractional shares from my free trade account to my trading 2-on-2 account? So unfortunately, you can only transfer full shares right now. Fractional share transfers are not supported. If you want to move the remainder of your fractional shares value, you need to sell that fraction into cash and then transfer. Unfortunately, I do foresee this being a big problem for something like Beidou, where a fraction of the share is a very high price. Of course, I could always leave this in my free trade account and just transfer my British stocks, because if I'm going to transfer my Beidou, which is denoted in dollars, that's going to cost an exit fee for free trade. When you are transferring your ISA account out, you will need to sell your fractional shares, as that is not supported there too. Another thing to note is that if you decide to buy the same fractional shares but with another broker, they may have additional fees. So what sort of financial instruments can you actually transfer using this new portfolio transfer feature? So you can transfer all stocks and ETFs, as long as they are available on the trading 2-on-2 platform, and of course they will be available on your previous broker's platform too. For free trade and trading 2-on-2, most of the funds do overlap, so it's not a big issue there. Another question is, can I place orders with instruments that are part of my transfer? So unfortunately, you won't be able to place any orders on the instruments that are part of an ongoing transfer, as that could cause delays and issues. However, once the transfer is made already into trading 2-on-2, I don't see why you can't place orders on them later on, as they will be part of your trading 2-on-2 portfolio, although we have to wait for trading 2-on-2 to confirm that. So if you've changed your mind, can you actually cancel this transfer? So when transferring in, you can cancel your transfer if it's still in the transfer request review, or if it's in the transfer arrangement state. Once it passes these stages, then you can no longer cancel, unfortunately. When transferring out, however, you can cancel during the transfer approval process. And of course, once it passes that, you can't really cancel, as it then becomes the other broker's responsibility. So how long does it take for these transfers to actually go from 0 to 100? Trading 2-on-2 aims to do this as quickly as possible. As you can imagine, more money into them is not something they're going to want to do at a slow pace. Of course, this does depend on the other broker. For example, if free trade is being slow for whatever reason, it's going to cause delays. And of course, user error, if you put in the wrong amount of shares and stuff like that, then that could cause delays too. So because they say as soon as possible, it took me only about 1 or 2 weeks to transfer my ISA from free trade to InvestEngine, and that was at the end of December, so I assume it would only really take about 2 working weeks, if that. And of course, we must always ask, is there any risk in transferring your portfolio? There is no inherent risk in transferring your portfolios. However, once it becomes irreversible and you can't cancel it, you might not be able to manage your positions for a number of days to weeks, and potentially there could be some risk in that. But remember, when investing, your capital is always at risk. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.